my awning's been hit by lightning. The first thing was, oh my God, are you all right? You can buy a bottle of wine for £4, or you can buy a bottle of wine for 35 quid, 40, 50 quid. And we actually just experiment putting underfloor heating in.
Hello, so today you join me at Ecowagon, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard the name. You'll have seen that they've got the really, really expensive vans. But why are they expensive? If you look at the spec list on them, there's a lot of spec in there which you do not find on some of the cheaper vans. So we're going to be going into that today. So today I'm joined by Kenny from Ecowagon, the owner and the founder, just to find out a little bit more about their vans, what they think the future is. In this current economical climate, are people still buying them? And also, maybe what do they think about the Transit? So let's get into it. So hi, Kenny.
Hi, you all right?
Yeah, very good.
Good,
Not
good,
too bad.
good.
Thanks for having me down here today. And oh, we've got another little visitor here.
That's Mabel. Mabel.
Unfortunately, she's not in shot, so nobody can see.
Oh, yeah.
So where did the business come from? How did you
Well,
start it?
basically, I started, I used to surf a lot. Had a van for that to go on trips to France and whatever. Started with T4 with basically a block mattress in the back. It was okay. I mean, to be honest, I had some of my best trips in that. But then gradually wanted a bit more, so started doing more conversions to it. When the T4s were getting sold due to the ULEZ in London, started buying a few T4s, selling them as vans. Then people started asking for conversions, so we were doing conversions, and that's basically what is now snowballed into the monster that is Ecowagon now, you know. So
Yeah, and it certainly is. It's a brand. I mean, I know I've said expensive, and probably expensive is the wrong word, isn't it? Because it is a brand which is, well, it's known as a premium brand.
Yes,
It's a premium product.
Yeah, I mean, our vans are a lot more expensive than a lot of companies' conversions, but we do put a lot into them. I mean, for example, when we're fitting a pop top, it takes 2-3 days to fit a pop top.
Yeah.
There's companies that are building 7 vans a day. You know, you're talking on an Expo Plus, it's a high spec. Sometimes it can be up to a month to build it. So that's where some of the difference in cost comes, you know.
So as far as that cost's concerned, then obviously we've got straight into it. You don't build on Startline vans, do you?
No, the vans we build are a minimum 150 DSG Highlines, sat nav, LED lights, tailgates, factory swivel seats, factory cab carpet. We spec them up nice. The 150 is a good quality van to base on, and the Highline with a nice spec, DSG boxes, most of them. So that, I mean, that in itself, you're talking like 45 to 50k for a decent spec van before you even start. And if you go up to 4Motion, then you can be talking up to 55, 57k just for the base van.
Just for the van itself.
You know? And then by the time you add VB air suspension, electric pop top, the California seat, lithium batteries, our electric system that we fit, because I'm into boats as well, into marine stuff. So I worked out that the best electric systems you can get come from marine. So we fit all marine electrics, the Sim-Marine control panel, Victron, and all that costs money as well. And to do it right, it costs money, you know, and that's why the vans are what they are, you know.
So let's take a step back then. So we're looking at this base van. So we're looking at a 150 DSG Highline, blah, 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 that's 50 grand.
Yeah.
So obviously a couple of years ago, 50 grand was a conversion from a conversion company, including the VAT, everything.
Yeah.
But yours were obviously starting at more to start with because that was that spec of van.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about your conversion, a lot of conversions will just come with a basic battery, they'll just come with a basic control panel, they'll come with a cheaper heater.
Yeah.
But yours are, everything's always the best, isn't it?
Yes, we fit the best batteries, the best heater, Ebbsbacher heaters, the Remo roofs. We try and source the
Remo
best
roof.
stuff.
I mean, what's a Remo roof?
For a Remo electric roof, you're talking about 8k to fit it, you know. So
so when you've got all these people in the forum saying how much is a pop top,
which
is one of those questions which always baffles me. It's like, oh, how much for a campervan conversion?
It's the
well,
same.
hang on a minute. You could pay 10 grand. You could pay under 10 grand. You know.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's the same as everything. You can buy a bottle of wine for £4, or you can buy a bottle of wine for 35 quid, 40, 50 quid, you know,
Yeah.
and the difference is the quality at the end of the day. It's, I mean, some of the prices of the vans it scare me, but it's kind of the way it's gone. I mean, some of the sets of wheels, I mean, like in the one, those wheels there were like £7,000 for the wheels.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's madness, but they're one-off wheel, custom-made wheels. You know, and
So if we're starting off at a 55 grand base van, let's
Yeah.
just say,
yeah,
so we've got 7 grand of wheels.
yeah,
We've got 8 grand of pop top.
yeah,
The suspension,
6.5,
6.5.
for
So that's the
suspension.
VBO suspension.
Yeah,
So that's all the self-leveling.
Yeah.
And I mean, that in itself, I mean, that's a fantastic piece of kit. Isn't it?
it's amazing bit of kit, and it basically when customers spec the van up, they say to me, "Is there anything I've left off?" And I'm like, "Well, there is something, but it's quite expensive." And then I tell them about it, and they go away, and the next they come back and say, "Yeah, we want it," because it's like it's so easy. You pull up in a car park with a Remo electric roof, you press the roof, you press your suspension, you pour yourself a drink, happy days,
Yeah.
you know.
Otherwise, you can be in the wet and you're trying to get everything sorted
Yeah,
out, get it
yeah.
level, getting the leveling ramps out, and
Well,
it's just a different way of doing things,
ramps
isn't it?
a massive cause of divorce, aren't they, couples? Because arguing, is it level?
Is it
level?
No,
Yeah. It's and it just
And
makes
meanwhile, you're not sat outside. I mean,
exactly.
although if it's raining, you're not going to be doing that anyway. But you're just not relaxing. It's
Yeah.
just so.
That's
But that's
it.
where it comes down to personal preference, isn't it? And I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
I'm gonna be getting grief for this video. How can people pay that? Because it's a choice.
Yeah.
You mentioned the bottles of wine. Well, you could buy a Ford Fiesta for £5 grand.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could buy a Ferrari for $500,000.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
both do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, Range Rover, 150,000
Yeah.
quid. Well, they reckon 150 to 200. Jaguar Land Rover
Yeah.
are only specialising in premium vehicles. 150, 200 grand for a Range Rover. Do you know it's?
They do the same thing, but
Yeah.
one of them does it better.
Yeah,
One of them's premium.
Yeah, but you can't sleep in a Range Rover. You can't make a cup of tea in a Range Rover.
No.
You know, so that's the.
And the other one is, people say, oh, you can buy a house for that. Yeah, but you can't drive a house.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, some of my clients have got a Range Rover as well, so that's kind of, I guess, the kind of people again that are buying these vans. They appreciate quality, you know, and they're willing to spend the money to get something's right, you know,
Yeah.
because it's
So we'll come back onto your customers in a minute. So just back to the van then. So like the electrical power system, you're not spending 100 quid on a battery. You're spending
like 600,
yeah.
700, 800 quid on a battery, sometimes 1,000. I mean, the demo van we did last year and the year before, it had two, because we fitted induction hobs to them.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of companies that fit an induction hob, just stick a 100 amp hour battery in it. So you can use your induction hob for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. We did it, we put two 230 amp hour batteries in it. So you can use it, you can boil a chicken, you can use it for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know? So it's about doing stuff belt and braces. So you can properly use the van, basically.
Yeah.
You know, for any eventuality. 250 watt Austrian solar panel on the roof. Again, you can buy a solar panel for 50 quid off eBay. Will it last? Probably not, you know, whereas the DAS Energy ones, 100% success rate, you know, so yeah.
And then to back all that up, you've obviously got the Victron control systems, all the power
Victron,
management.
You've got Sim Marine control unit, which is a marine system.
So how much is that?
The system itself is about 700 quid. That's just for the control panel and the shunt, and it tells you how much solar you're using and stuff, and that's just that. That's without your multi-plus charger system, and then your DC to DC chargers and all the rest that goes with it, you know.
Which certainly mounts up. What about the Garmin? Because Garmin have got a system, haven't they?
We are, the sprinters that we're doing, we've got a sprinter in develop at the minute, and we're working closely with Garmin with the Empire Bus digital switching system. So you'll be able to control everything from your control unit, like an iPad screen or a Garmin version, on your phone, and even on your Garmin watch. You'll be able to wind your on and out, switch your heater on, everything. So it's
that, for me, is just brilliant.
Yeah.
I love my gadgets. I love my toys. And when I'd seen this system, I heard about this system.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was like, that is the system which I'd want. And the new multivan, the new California built on the multivan, they've kind of got this system type of system in there,
Yeah.
being able to control it on the app. And I know that appeals to people.
Yeah,
For that system coming to conversions,
yeah.
it's going to be a real...
It's basically a marine NEMA 2000 system. It's all marine again.
Yeah.
So it's like 100% waterproof, really reliable and durable, So if it works in a boat, it'll work in a camper van, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The joys of a converter by the sea, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Get to experiment on my boat in camper vans, So, yeah, it's good.
And then the bed, obviously the bed which we've got downstairs, which
Yeah.
in most of your vans is the Cali bed, isn't it?
Yeah, California bed. I mean, out of all the things in the California, the bed is the best thing, I mean, the roof's good, don't get me wrong. Aluminium's a few issues in fitting solar panels too and stuff, but the California bed is hands down the best bed on the market. It's just, the design's amazing and the way it works, it's a great thing. I mean, VW obviously spent probably hundreds of £1,000s developing that bed. Whereas other aftermarket manufacturers, whatever, they're not spending the same sort of money and the same detail and all the plastic moulding and everything else that goes with it,
And that's on a sliding rail system
Sliding
as well,
rail
isn't it?
system, nice little
Which
covers.
is, yeah.
It is silk. It's the best.
Yeah.
I love
And how
the
much
Cali
is
bed.
one of those?
You're talking fitted about £6,500.
So you're £6,500 as opposed to a 2-3 grand for a rib bed.
Yeah,
Probably a bit less for some of these rock and roll beds.
Yeah. I mean, the rib bed in itself, if you put that on the rail system, which is the California rail system, that you're talking £7,000 for, and it's again VW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got your bed, settling down for night.
Yeah.
A bit chilly outside as it's getting now. It's temperatures are dropping.
Yeah.
The heating system. What kind of heating do you
we
opt for?
fit Eberspacher or Webasto diesel heaters, which is on a 7-day timer. Again, good systems. We went a bit lavish with the demo van last year and the year before because we had such big lithium batteries in. We actually just experimented putting underfloor heating in. So I mean, it won't heat the van, but you switch it on in the morning when you wake up, and when you put your feet on that floor, it's the nicest feeling ever. That's great. And then we also put 12-volt water heater in, 12-volt 240 water heater actually, so you can heat your water with your lithium batteries as well. So you can have a hot shower, which we put the shower point underneath the van at the back of the van. Again, early stages, we fitted the shower point inside the van. As soon as you unplug the shower point, all the water drips on the carpet. I didn't like that, so never again. So I developed a neat valve system where you use the same fill point as the shower point. So you basically turn the valve to fill it up, turn it to shower, and then you've got a hot thermostatic controlled shower out the back of the van with the sucker that goes on the tailgate, and then you've got a hot shower. We fitted a couple of the screens that go round showers, but it's a bit lavish again. You don't really need stuff like that in a small van, You can have a shower just in your shorts. You don't have to be stripped off in the shower.
You talk about lavish there. I mean, there's a lot of thing about a small camper van which you don't need, but it's that one. It's like I just mentioned about the gadgets. I love my gadgets. I don't need to be able to sit in the chair outside the van and go, oh, I want the awning now. I could get up and could do it. But that's my choice. If I choose that I want to press a button to be able to do that, then I want to do it.
Well,
I could put the pop top down myself, but actually, no, I want electric. It's all about that choice,
like you
isn't
say.
it?
It's up to you whether you want to spend £50,000 or £150,000 on a camper van. If you can afford it, then why not spend £150 if it's your dream at the end of the day? Yeah. So that's kind of where it is. And we do get a lot of stick for the price of vans, but people do spend. I mean, the number one comment is, they must be an idiot if you're going to spend £150,000 on a van. And my reply to that is, if you've managed to accumulate £150,000 to spend on a camper van, you're clearly not stupid. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a very good point. And yeah, it is one of the common things I get. I mean, even some of the videos, I did a recent one about another camper van, and it's 70 grand.
Yeah.
And people are going mental because it's 70 grand.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you wait a couple of weeks when this video comes out, and it's obviously going to be a lot more. And I do get it, because 70 grand, it's a lot of money on a camper van, especially when a couple of years ago you could potentially spend 50 grand for the same van.
Yeah, yeah.
You could buy a £3,000 van and you could put units in it. But actually, if you've got that money and you want to spend it and you want it to be a bit more of the better creature comforts and, like I say, the electric pop-ups, why not? You know, if you've got the money, then
4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, our demo van, most expensive demo van, was £75,000. You know, but then things like the Leighton Van's body kit, the wheels, the water
that's another thing.
heater,
That's about £6,000, isn't it? Or it was originally.
Yeah. It all adds up, and they just get more. I mean, our best-selling model is the Expo Plus. And that started out by we were building all the same vans. Everybody wanted heaters, everyone wanted solar panels, everyone wanted wind out awnings. So we built the Expo Plus came about. That's everything you can have in a van. Since then, people have added air suspension, electric roofs, bigger solar panels, inverters, and they just add and add and add. And obviously, there's a cost to all that, you know. So that's where it's kind of got to the price, and the vans have obviously gone up. What, 20% at least?
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
That's one of the main things, isn't it? I mean, yeah, okay, the componentry itself has gone up, and obviously labour and heating and things like that. But that base van, base van, which you could get 20 grand pre-COVID,
I mean,
is now 40 grand.
Yeah, we were buying Harline 102 horsepower manual vans for 20 grand, including VAT, prior to, well, probably, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you're looking 32 grand for the same van. It's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah, these prices they have certainly increased. And what I like about, obviously, we've got the NEC Show coming up in a few weeks' time. I don't know whether you're going to do it again, but previously you've put the Expo Plus, you've put what the conversion is, and then you put the price list of all the extras.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's quite obvious when you go up to that and you have a look at it. Oh, flipping out, yeah. Oh, yeah, well, if I didn't want the air suspension, I didn't want that. Well, actually, then you're down to the price of matey boy who's got a stand down the road, who's got a basic van and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you're down to that kind of price.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, you can see where that difference
you've
comes
still got your basic components like your Victron and your Submarine and everything like that included in the basic price. You know, so that's the thing where other companies are using caravan electrical systems, which they are a bit dated and they're not really as reliable and as robust as marine stuff. You know, so that's the big thing. And that's.
Well, I think we do have a difference just going on to general conversions itself. You do have a different range of converters. Obviously, you've got ones, without naming any names, using basic cheap components. And then you've got other ones who are doing using Victra and they're using some high level components.
Yeah.
And then you've got ones like yourself, which is you're going to chuck everything at it because your buyer, your market kind of wants that. And it's like the seats, isn't it? Your Napa leather, is it what you use for the seats? And you're using the sports bolstering. And
all the seat covers are done in Malaysia actually by the same company that makes the seat covers for Mitsubishi and Honda and that. So they're all OEM equivalent seats, you know. So again, it's they're not just like a lot of the other companies that produce the big numbers. They just use standard upholstery or anything like that. It's all adds to the cost again of building a van.
What's the most expensive camper van you've ever built?
Probably the white one we had at the NEC last year. I think it was about £138,000, something like that. It might have been.
I think I've still got a picture of the spec sheet.
I might be wrong. I mean, we have got. Some of the customers again. We had one recently. He bought his van. We got through halfway through all his spec, real high spec, electric roof, air suspension, everything. Rang up, says I want it Nardo grey. So off to the body shop, and to strip a van to change the colour, you're talking about £8,000. You know, you add that onto the Leighton kit as well. You're talking up to like £12,000-13,000 just for the paintwork on the van. You know, so that's where these costs can escalate at the end of the day. But if he wants a Nardo grey van, he can have a Nardo grey van at the end of the day. I'm not going to say no. That's crazy. Do you know what I mean? And
you're up front with the cost, and if they want to pay it, they want to pay it. If they don't, they don't.
I mean, everything's done. Everything's fully transparent. They have to sign off. There's job sheet. how much they're going to spend before. People just, it's like a once in a lifetime purchase. So people think, all right, I want this, so they have it. I mean, majority of the customers don't sell the vans. You know, they keep them. The big high end ones, they keep them. They plan to keep them for 10, 15 years. Some of them, you know, and it's and that because it is making the dream come true, really. You know, so it's yeah. So that's probably about the most expensive one.
And I saw that, and the spec list was a long spec list. You know, your VB. I mean, the massive wheels on the $8,000 wheels.
Yeah, the wheels were expensive. They
electric
were VB 101s or whatever, custom made in Taiwan.
You had the two-lay bike carrier on the back, weren't you?
Yeah.
Only one in Europe at the
time.
First
one in the country. Yeah, the new awning as well. First one in the country.
Full latest
yeah, we
kit.
worked
So
with
we had
Tula.
a lot.
We worked with Tula a lot. They liked to. They like give us stuff to develop and look at working, you know. So it's good collaboration for sure. Yeah.
If you work with them that closely, I want one of those back boxes which they've got for the XT3s.
Right, I could probably get one of them, to be honest.
Just talking about space in vans, because obviously people talk about a lot about that cramped space. It's only a small van. You know, what would you spend that money on for? And that's absolutely perfect product for it.
Yeah.
Because it's the XT3 tow bar, and I can't remember what it's called. The box on the back. I can't think of the name of it, but it's just really good.
So
it goes on the tow bar,
we've
doesn't it? And it just
adapted
drops
one
back
of them that goes onto the bike rack in the back. We fitted a couple and we put the the bike rack that goes on the tailgate. We've adapted that so it goes on the tailgate bike rack, and it's better because you can lift it up. So that's probably the way to do it, rather than.
Do you know what? I don't like bike racks on the back of them because I can't see at the back. I know it's something silly.
Yeah.
But I'd like.
We did actually. We had someone like that, and they wanted us. So we fitted a camera, so you could see out the back. We had to move it. That was a pain in the arse job. So we had to move it so you could see out the back. But yeah, again, if that's what he wants, that's what he gets. You know. So. Yeah.
But yeah, those tow bar carrying bike boxes, I think they're absolutely brilliant. And then you could obviously put your two-lay roof box on the top. I've got one of them, and that's obviously good as well.
Yeah,
so
Tula stuff is good. Again, quality stuff, but they're as good as it gets. You've got your other manufacturers. We've tried them all, but we will only fit Tula. And the thing is about Tula is the service we get. I mean, we had one guy, his awning was hit by lightning, and I mean, again, consultant cardiologist at Trelease Hospital. So his awning was hit by lightning. It's quite a funny story actually, because he rang me up. He says that my awning's been hit by lightning. The first thing was, oh my God, are you all right? He goes, well, yeah, I'm all right. I was in the tent. I'm not sleeping in the van because the wife and kids are in there. He says, I'm not sleeping with two young kids. So he was on the other end of the campsite in his little mountaineering tent. But he goes, yeah, they're all fine, but it's blown on into pieces. And so I rang Tula up and said, have you ever had this? No, we've never had that before. That's weird. We'll send you a free one out. So although it was nothing to do with them, they give them a free awning. You know, and that's service for you, you know.
And that's one of those things which makes you especially you as a converter, actually want to continue dealing because there's loads of different companies who you could be using their products. So for something like that, it's...
that's pet hate of mine. If I have got suppliers, and I won't mention any names, but where I have a problem with it, and they like with certain electrical products or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, the first thing straight away, your electrician's done something wrong." Good suppliers, I ring them up, like the company we buy fridges off, Tula. Quite a lot of them. You ring them up, the window company, got a problem with this, I'll send you one out straight away, and that because they trust me. You know what I mean? And that's what I'll enjoy.
Could you tell VB you've got a problem with a suspension, see if they'll send you a full kit out?
I can try. The guys at VB are great. They're great. Again, they're really supportive and they're fantastic. and that's why I like working with them.
Yeah.
It makes the job easier. Unfortunately, the ones that aren't like that make it really hard and quite frustrating. But you just have to.
But it's easier for you because you know that your customers, if they ever have a problem, you know it's going to be easy for them.
Yeah,
And your
yeah.
customer service is going to be reflected.
Yeah, I mean,
because
all
of
our
that.
stuff's we put 3-year warranty on it and all our work and the vans, and we back it up. We don't scrimp and scrape on any of it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night building unless I knew my vans were built right. Do you know what I mean? Because I've used the vans, I've experienced failures in components. I mean, I'm not going to say we were using another system which was marine based again before a couple of years ago, and we did have some failures. So straight away, that stopped using it. We moved to the Victron stuff. But I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I mean, I am in this game to make money. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But the vans have also got to be right. I won't do it if they're not right. I mean, my guys hate me in the workshop because I can walk through the workshop, see a fault from 100 meters away, and I'm like, that's no good, and make them redo it.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's kind of. I like to think that comes across in the camper vans. When we turn up at the NEC show, people do say to us they're the best vans they've seen at the show, which is kind of what I buzz off that. I can't go and spend it at the shop, but I do buzz off it. So that's kind of one of the things that keeps me going, basically.
And obviously, what keeps you going is customers.
Yeah.
So your customers, I've just mentioned, you got the cheaper vans, and then you've got very, very good vans, but they're kind of in the middle price point. You are so your customers are obviously, they're not the ones who are buying down there. So kind of where does your custom base come from?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of customers. We've got like bankers and lawyers and doctors, plumbers. To be honest, plumbers must make quite good money. So so I mean, but then I do try to look after people with less to spend as well, the lower budget stuff. Because one thing I really dislike is people that come in with less money, and I don't want to see them go away and buy something that's lesser quality. So I'd rather try and work a deal out where we can build them a van and they get the same quality, because we do our I don't know what the right word is, entry level, the classic, which used to be the main model we did. It's the same quality, it's just not as complicated to build, so we can do it at less cost. We use a UK manufactured West Dubs roof. Of all the British roofs that we've tried over the years, we find West Dubs are the best. They're not as refined as a Remo, but they're not the same price as a Remo. No. But the one thing I like about West Dubs, if you've got a problem, they just straight away bang, they'll put it right. Which is, there's a lot to be said for that. And
absolutely,
So we can still build vans for people with a lower budget, and like I say, I'd rather do that than them go off somewhere down the road and get some guy in a shed building it.
Because my opinion, rightly or wrongly, obviously wrongly, has always been that Ecowagon has been premium. You are, like, if I had loads of money to build a van, I'd come to you because I want that. I want the VBO suspension. I want the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
But you do cater, actually, probably for customers like me who've not actually got that much money.
We do cater. This year we've done more day van conversions than anything else. And I mean, the day van conversion, you're looking about £8,000-9,000, So, and it's still got all the best, the Victron stuff. Obviously, there's not as much. You haven't got pop top and stuff, although you can spec it with a pop top. But it's still got the same quality. Our blind systems that we use that are made by Swell Shades just down the road. He only uses the very best products in his components in his blind systems. We work with them and we make the frames for them. So you don't have to have a massive budget to have an Ecowagon. We can cater to most budgets, you know.
See, learn something new every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as far as your customers are concerned, are they local or do they come from?
Well, I mean, the furthest north is Inverness. We've got Southern Ireland, Guernsey, Jersey. So they're spread out. They are spread out quite a bit. I mean, I'd say 50% local, 50% all over the place, basically. I mean, we've got on a website, you've got a map of our ambassadors, isn't it? So the whole country, pretty much, you know. So yeah, they're everywhere.
That's good to know.
Yeah, people do travel again for quality, you know,
Yeah.
to get the job done right.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
So people are travelling for vans. And
Yeah.
they're travelling a long way for VW Transporters.
Yeah.
But these are going.
Yeah.
These
I know.
are not going to be there.
I
That
know.
badge is going to be no
I know,
longer.
it's really sad actually, because I don't quite know what VW are thinking. I think someone's had a bit of a aneurysm or whatever in the VW factory, because they've decided to go in with Ford. I mean, Ford's a successful van at Transit. Most builders have got them, haven't they?
It's
they're
the
out there,
most
aren't they?
sold van, isn't it?
We did buy one early on, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, to look at developing it. I decided that, I mean, Ecowagon are known for doing premium vans, and I'm not sure that I could build a premium van on a Ford vehicle. So I decided that I wasn't going to do them. Since then, we've looked at crafters. I've ended up buying a crafter, decided I didn't want to do that either, because every man and his dog's doing crafters. Worked at sprinters. We've got 3 sprinters in it, here at the moment. One of them's in the workshop. We're developing for a customer. The other 2 we're going to get in soon. I decided to go down the sprinter route. I'm not going to rule out the transporter version of the Ford when it comes out, because obviously VW have had a massive input. They're going to put their own stamp on it. So we might look at that in the future, but at the minute we're kind of concentrating on. I've bought quite a few of the last transporters, so I'm going to build them for the next few months, and in between that we're going to look at developing these sprinters and see how that works for us. But it's a strange, because obviously the sprinters a total different market again. I mean, the transporters we build, people get rid of a second car. But the sprinters, you can't really use a sprinter as a car, so it's. I'm not so sure. I think the sprinter, larger van market will get flooded a lot quicker than the transporter.
Yeah, it's a different market, isn't it?
Totally.
We are seeing more and more converters go into the crafter, go into the Mans.
Yeah.
At the last NEC show, which obviously was February, there was quite a few sprinters.
Yeah.
There was obviously the Project Yonders and the £100,000 van.
215.
215.
I think it was 215.
Crikey.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's a lot of money.
but that's
it's
a strange market, because, like you say, it is a second vehicle. It's not. It wouldn't be for me at the moment. I'd need
to sit on the drive. It's a lot of money for something to sit on the drive, unless you are going to go on the expedition across Europe or whatever. But then I don't know. I don't know. I think on the continent maybe, but in Britain, people. I mean, one of our vans went to America. He shipped it to the States. Did 6 months in America. Toured 48 states in 6 months. So I've got pictures off on the website in the Nevada desert.
Wow.
So that's something. So people do it. I mean, that's one customer though. One who took us to Iceland. Majority it's just Europe and Scandinavia and stuff. People do. Scotland's a big one as well, isn't it? So that's one thing I will say about our customers, because that's the other thing. The comment we get all the time is people that have got that kind of money who don't go camping, aren't going to go and sit in a field and do the toilet in a bucket or in a porta potty. Our customers do. I mean, we built a van for a guy who's the global managing director for Morgan Stanley Investment Bank, worth millions, lives in Kensington, worth millions. He just sleeps in his van, and when he comes down to have bits done on his van, he just sleeps in the car park, peas in the bush. It's like, just because you've got loads of money doesn't mean you don't go camping.
It's about the experience, isn't it? We could all probably go and stay in a B&B for, well, they're probably not £15 a night, are they? But you can cheap but it's not the same as sleeping
Yeah. It's like,
under
I
the
mean, it's like
stars.
I say to my customers, it's like being a tortoise, taking your house with you. You know, it's like you've got your bed the way you like it, you have your coffee the way you like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a home from home at the end of the day. And I know the other comment you get is you can get a big motorhome for that. You can't get a big motorhome in a car park in the supermarket. You can't get a big motorhome in a multi-story car park.
no,
So this is the thing. Again, although
yeah,
it's a lot of money, it's more practical than a motorhome.
because it's your daily drive. You don't have to get
Yeah,
rid of your
yeah,
car. It's your daily driver. It's your everything. It's your shops. It's your service station.
yeah,
You can stop, pull over at the side of the road. You can go to the toilet in the bike. You can put your coffee on. You
yeah,
can eat your lunch. Take your lunch.
yeah.
You just got everything
Even, I mean,
all in
even if you
one.
don't use it for camping all the time, you use it for going on a journey. Means you don't have to go in a service station, eat crappy service station
Yeah,
food. You can make your own sandwiches the
yeah,
way you like them in your van. I mean, it's a no-brainer for most people. You
yeah.
know that
But
want.
it's that choice. Like
Yeah, yeah,
people will still say, well, if I had that money, I still wouldn't do it. Okay, it's not for you.
yeah, yeah.
But clearly, you've been going for the number of years now,
Yeah, I
selling,
mean, 12, 13 years we've been going now, so we're
and
doing
people are buying them.
we're doing something right,
Yeah,
you know.
and you've
So
got lots of other converters who are selling vans, and they're still going.
yeah,
So for
yeah,
people to say it's a ridiculous amount of money, never going to pay it, people do. 'Cause
yeah,
people choose to
yeah,
people choose to do so.
yeah.
But there's another step beyond that, and that's EV. What are your thoughts on that?
That's again, I mean, being called Ecowagon. I mean, being totally honest, the Ecowagon name came about because we expected it to come along better. Uh, the electric vehicles, so we planned to switch to electric as soon as they were available. That's never happened, to be honest, and it's quite likely it's never going to happen because they're not. The technology isn't there, the infrastructure isn't there. We're quite hopeful on the transit VW collaboration with the hybrid, so that's something we will be looking at. We're possibly going to be working with a local Volkswagen dealer to produce a couple of little models for them with it based on the hybrid van. So that is something. I mean, we'd love being called Ecowagon. We should be doing. I mean, the reason we're not just eco because of the planning to do electric cars. We use sustainable sheep's wool insulation. All the plywood we use is sustainable. We use solar panels off grid. So we try to be as eco as
Yeah,
possible. You know, we don't spend loads of money on a glitzy, glamorous building because it's about the vans. It's just a waste of money.
yeah,
There's nothing I hate worse than pulling up somewhere and everything's glitzy and glammy because it's obviously that they're just spending money to try and get you to spend money, you know, and
yeah.
that's not what it's about for us. We let the vans do the talking.
So yeah, hybrid. It does seem to be the most effective form at the moment.
Yeah,
There obviously
yeah.
could be more technologies, but it is quite interesting that the few converters now are thinking about the hybrids. There are a few conversions now which are gas free, which is another
Yeah.
thing which
I
some
mean,
people are doing.
we've done a couple of gas-free conversions. Um, it's again people. I don't know. It kind of gets me back up a bit because all this gas-free stuff and gas is dangerous and all that. People have been using gas in campervans and caravans for years,
Yeah,
decades. I mean, in Cornwall here, we're surrounded by campsites all
yes,
round us. There's one up there, there's one down there, there's everywhere. If gas was that dangerous, we'd be here bangs going
yeah,
off all day. So I'm a bit of a fan for gas. It's really efficient. It's part of camping, goes hand in hand. So although we can fit gas-free ones, I mean the demo van this year, to be honest, the last 2 years it has been gas-free. We've put a gas hob in it again because it's a lot cheaper than putting 460
yeah,
amp hours of lithium in. We've still got a 200 amp hour lithium in with a 2 kilowatt inverter. So if you want to use an induction hob, you just get a little portable one,
yeah.
plug it in, you know, but you've still got the gas for the gas barbecue. I am a big fan of gas, but I mean, I should imagine with the EVs and the hybrids, we will end up going down the induction hob route, but it's just getting it to work efficiently at a decent cost.
And I was just about to say cost. I mean, we have seen the cost come down for lithium iron phosphate batteries.
Oh,
that
lithium
has come down.
It's crashed massively.
And it had to.
Yeah. I mean, they're not far off. Some of these batteries now are not far off the same cost as a lead acid battery.
Yeah. But again, it's that competition. It's competitors coming into the market trying to make things cheaper. Now we've got the NEC show, like I've mentioned, in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I've heard that there's actually going to be some component manufacturers there which we haven't seen before.
Right.
And they're going to be really quite competitive. So I'm really interested in seeing that.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Chinese, would they?
You might be.
Yeah.
So there's some componentry which is being talked about.
Right. We did
over here.
To be honest, they were at here. There was people at Dusseldorf, and for the last couple of years, there has been people from East Asia or whatever coming round and taking pictures and getting ideas, which they're into everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you can't blame them for getting into.
No, definitely not.
The cars. I mean, the cars are causing a stink, aren't they? Because they're building them better than we can. I mean,
MG.
Yeah.
Haven't they outsold like all the other manufacturers by something or other?
Yeah, and a lot of
But people don't realise that they're Chinese.
Yeah.
People don't see it. They think that it's still a British manufacturer.
I mean, a lot of people slate the Chinese and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's crap, or poor quality." But at the end of the day, Apple stuff's made in
Apple
China.
stuff is.
And it's it's good.
Pretty much 95% of products in people's houses will probably be from
Chinese.
China.
Yeah, they're good. They can build it if the man is right. Same as here. I mean, we used to be leading the world in industry, didn't we? But
things change.
They do change. Yeah, for sure.
But the NEC coming up in a couple of weeks. My preview video of it is going to be out. I don't know when, soon. But when I'm at the show, I'm also going to be talking about a lot of camper vans, and there's going to be some things with a difference. So do look out for that. I'll probably see Kenny when I'm at the show. Obviously, you're going to be there with your vans.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you up there. But guys, thank you for watching. If you didn't see one of Kenny's vans, which I saw at the show last year, then you can have a look at that video here. Thanks for watching. Take care. I hope to see you soon.